Okay, good day everyone. So here we are. I'm letting you in on one of my secret training missions. So here we are now having a bit of a session. So if we look down the bottom right, there's me doing some sit-ups. So started this whole session with some sit-ups. So I did around about 15 minutes on sit-ups, all sorts, just on the total gym, but a whole range of them. So doing them a bit quicker and then doing them a bit slower, to give your muscle a good workout. Then I went out on the bike. Here I am now on the hill. Now this isn't a long hill. It's only short, but it's relatively steep. It's around about 7%, and in the steepest part gets to about 10%, but it's not for very long. It's only for about 400 meters. But what I do when I go on this hill, because I do 8 repeats of this, and what I do is I'll do some in the saddle and some out of the saddle. My efforts are always up around about that 300 watt mark, over the 300 watt. You see I'm sitting on 300 odd watts now. So I just vary around a bit. I always practice the hill climbing out the saddle as well as in the saddle. Get used to doing both. Definitely helps. And as I've said millions of times before in different videos, the place you are going to get stronger is on the hills. I know some people don't like them, but at the end of the day, unless you live in Holland, you need to go and climb some hills. I'm telling you, hills will sort you out. They will get you strong. They'll make it so that you're able, if you can hold 300 watts, 350 watts on a 5-6k climb, you can hold that out the front on the flats. So hill climbing is imperative for your training. Definitely, you've got to get out and do some hill climbing. It's the best way to train on the bike. After I did these sessions, I then moved on to doing some leg weights. As you can see there in the top, doing some presses, and before I was doing the squats. So I did those afterwards, and really give the legs a good workout. So now, after this session now, I wouldn't do any more on my legs for at least a couple of days. So probably not until Thursday. And because I'm riding on the weekend, I'll be riding on Saturday and Sunday. We'll probably do one ride on Saturday where it'll be fairly hard, and then another easier ride. So on Thursday, I'll probably just jump on the indoor trainer and just kick my legs over for 20 minutes, just to give a bit of movement, just to keep the legs working. And that's pretty much all I'll do. I certainly won't go too mad with it, and I won't do any leg weights. When I do my training sessions with legs, with doing some leg weights afterwards, definitely I can feel it a couple of days. For a good couple of days, you can feel the muscles for a couple of days. Whereas if I was to do just the hill repeats, or just a 20-minute indoor trainer session, I don't get quite as much of a burn. So by adding the leg weights into it, it's giving that extra boost, that extra burn for your legs, to enable you to build more muscle and get stronger. The other thing I do with once I finish these sessions, like with any of my rides, I do some stretches for about 15 minutes. Stretches are an awesome way to just loosen up at the end, because you have to remember, cycling, the stroke in cycling is very limited. We're not fully extending our leg, so the whole range, that whole movement, isn't working every single part of your leg muscle. So it's important to do some stretches at the end of your rides, and also obviously to do the weight training on your legs, is also stretching out those muscles, you know, the whole muscle, the whole extent of the muscle, rather than just the limited part of the muscle that you're doing with the cycling. So I've found, since I've been doing all the stretches as well, and the leg weights, one with the leg weights I've definitely gotten heaps stronger, for sure I've gotten stronger, but doing the stretches as well, I don't get the cramps. You've got to keep your fluids up obviously, but I don't cramp up. Like if I'm out on a big ride, at one time I would have, maybe at about 150k mark, I would have probably felt my legs a bit, but now I don't seem to, and I'm sure it's because I'm stretching out that whole muscle, you know, the whole leg, the whole range is being worked, so it's making it stronger. So anyway, that is what I do. That is one of my sessions. This is the sort of stuff you have to be doing to get stronger and better on the bike. Find some sort of a hill that's close by, combine it in with doing some leg weights, and you will definitely see your power increase. You will be able to hold more watts. It isn't going to happen overnight. Let's not forget that. This doesn't happen overnight. It takes time to build your endurance up, to build your watts up so as you can hold more watts. It takes time. It doesn't just happen in 2 or 3 or 4 weeks. You know, it takes months for it to build up. But the way you have to look at it is, the sooner you start, the quicker it will happen and the faster you'll be. So anyway, that is it from me. Hope you enjoyed it. As usual, got any questions or comments, stick them down below.